So it's currently the 10th of September, so just starting to come into spring here in Australia. And as you can see, a lot of my bonsai are really starting to hit new bursts of growth. I really want to let them develop and grow a little bit more over the coming weeks before I do any pruning work on them. So that being the case, and given that my azalea is probably the only one which is really bursting through, so that being the case, I'm going to do a video on my azalea and a bit of a repotting on it. So I did my video on this, so it's been 2 months to the day since I published that video, and since then it's had a little bit of growth, so a bunch of new shoots came out. It then flowered quite nicely, and then since then it's had more growth yet. So it's probably had about 2 births of growth, so it's probably put on about 6 inches or so. Predominantly kind of pretty much all over the whole thing, so it's quite large now. And look, whilst I did only do my first repotting on this just under a year ago now, and yeah, my last update 2 months ago, but just given how well it has been growing and how thick it is starting to get down around the trunk area, I really just want to take it out again, see how it's going since I first started to do some root work on this, and yeah, really start to structure it. And I also want to keep it in a training pot for now, just because I am going to be doing a bit more of a harsh pruning on it. So I just want to put it back in an environment where it can really start to grow and do really well before I then pull it back into a bonsai pot and do a little bit more refinement. So I'm just going to jump into this now and start repotting. Alright, so as you can see, it's starting to get a bit of natural moss forming down the base. But yeah, the roots have really taken off, so it's a good time to be repotting. Alright, so I remember from the last time I did it that it actually had quite a good root plane on it. So that being the case, I know there's a lot of feeder roots up in this top area, so I'm just quickly getting rid of the bottom. So I'm just going to go and rinse out the root ball, just so I can see what's happening there. Okay, so I've just gone and rinsed the roots out and raked them out a little bit more. So yeah, you can see a fair bit of the start of a bit of a root ball forming here. So just while I'm in here, I'm just going to get rid of a couple of shoots that kind of came from the bottom and have also kind of since been snapped off whilst washing off the roots. But yeah, so there's quite a good root plane there starting to form. So I'll bury that a little bit when I repot this. But for now, I'm just trying to see what I kind of want to work with. There's a couple of sizes that could potentially be the front with time. So I'm thinking that there would either be the front, just because you can see there's a couple of nice good roots forming there, a bit of character in the trunk, kind of comes towards you and then kind of moves back. Or you could potentially use this side as the front with time, because there's kind of that raised, interesting looking part in the root formation, and just overall bit of character there. But there's a couple branches you can see. It's this big branch here on the side, has a lot less taper and a lot less movement, and the same for this branch, whereas there's a lot of taper and a lot of movement in this center branch, and then it kind of splits into what could be a nice twin trunk. So I'm going to use that. So just going to get rid of, and then this little branch here on the side as well. And then the other big one. Actually, just tidy this one up a bit. As you can see there now, there's quite a good bit of thickness in the bottom of the trunk, along with a lot of good movement and taper, so it gives me a lot of opportunities to work with in the future. Now I'm also going to prune back some of these other branches, so this one here for instance just comes straight out rather horizontally. This one here, I want to keep this other trunk, but I don't need these long shoots that kind of come out too far and don't have taper. So I'll just prune back a lot of these other branches just to a bit of a general profile. Yeah, and with time, who knows, I might even get rid of more branches. There's quite a bit of interesting movement on some of these. I might not necessarily want this other trunk, but for now, I'll let that grow at least as a sacrificial branch. But yeah, first real steps at starting to shape the top of this tree, and as you can see, there's some quite good roots coming along as well. So I'm just going to just prune these back a little bit. Tidy up some of these roots that are sticking up a bit. Just encourage the others to grow. So now I'm just going to repot it. And just putting in some soil. So yeah, I've just got bonsai soil at the moment, a standard potting mix. So I'm just using this chopstick just to get rid of any air gaps in amongst the roots, just to keep the moisture there and keep the roots as healthy as possible. Okay, so there's the start of my Azalea bonsai. So look, I had been planning on doing a video on my Japanese maples. I have bought a couple and yeah, I was going to repot one, just give an update on the others. So I will keep that as an option for my next video. The main ones just hadn't started coming into leaf yet, so we'll need to wait until next weekend or the next. But look, I do hope that you've enjoyed this video or taken something from it, and if you have, then please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you're notified with future videos as I release them. But look, thanks for your time today. Enjoy. Bye.